And then when I was growing up, we all hated guides. Like, we hated outfits. We hated, people that did all that stuff because they ran around our area, or what we thought was our area.
At least some point in their lives.
Sure.
The younger the better, but just get out of their hometown and go fucking live somewhere else.
Must be fucking nice, because like, dude, I bought myself this window so you can create yourself into a business, because while people are out there blowing their money on this, on other stuff, you were like, let me save up so I can buy some trucks.
Yeah. Underrated, we the underdogs, underestimated.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Totem Podcast. Today, I'm your host, Monico Carrillo. Of course, we got Eric here with us.
Yeah, how you guys doing? My name's Erick Carrillo. You're the co-host. And guys, like always, just remember to smash that subscribe button and hit that bell to turn on notifications. So like that way, every time we have a new episode up, you guys can know about it. And also give the video a thumbs up if you like today's guest. And a big shout out to today's sponsor, which is Films by Inceptions. So if you guys don't know, we're from Inceptions Media, and we kind of like split up our business as Films by Inceptions. Just that way we could have everything in one spot. That's everything to do with quinceañeras and weddings. So if you guys visit us on filmsbyinceptions.com, you guys can check it out all there. We've been doing it for just under 4 years, and I'm just recently got engaged, so I know what you guys are going through when it comes to like booking and all that stuff.
How stressful that is.
How stressful it can be. So you guys just make sure to just check it out, filmsbyinceptions.com, for all your wedding and quinceañera needs. So guys, welcome to today's episode on the Totem Podcast, where an act of rebellion is to question.
Cool. Appreciate that great intro, Eric. But yeah, so today's guest, we got Austin. He's also known as the Goose Daddy here with us today.
Hey, on certain days maybe if we get some, but
depends the day.
Yeah. So my name's Austin Kosman. I grew up with these guys at school, and I'm a full-time hunting guide out here in Fort Morgan, Wiggins area. So happy to be on the show with you guys.
Cool. So tell me a little bit how you got started, like in the hunting stuff.
So, believe it or not, like when I was growing up, like the biggest influence in your life is usually your dad, right?
Yeah.
Well, he didn't hunt. He just worked he's a farmer, just worked all the time. But I like picked it up with my buddies when I was young. And then when I was growing up, we all hated guides. Like we hated outfits. We hated, people that did all that stuff because they ran around our area, or what we thought was our area. And so just started hunting with buddies. And then I actually had like pivotal point of where I started guiding. So we used to run around and like try and get next to outfitters just to try and like mess their day up, like show them that we're better than them or whatever. And I was doing that over by Fort Morgan one day, and a guy by the name of Luke Schmidt, he was hunting in the field next to us, and he's an outfitter at the time. And so we went in there thinking we were hot shit, and tried to out hunt him or whatever. And then he came down and introduced himself, and that's kind of where I started the whole guiding journey. Was at that moment. I was 19 years old when that happened.
So what made you kind of like switch to guiding? Because you said you hated it. So like you hated it just because they were
Can't beat them, join them. Can't beat them, join them. Or
kind of. I mean, yeah, like what made me switch over to it was honestly just meeting Luke. Like he was a super good guy. We became really close friends, and then like he would just always invite me to go, and so I'd always go with him and jump in the pit. And just once I kind of got the inside look at what guiding is and like what people think of guides and like that it's a real thing, I actually really enjoyed it. And so that's kind of where I started to learn how to guide, and then, kind of took off from there.
For people who don't know, what's the pit?
So, yeah, the term the pit. So when it comes to goose hunting, we dig a hole in a cornfield and put wood lids over it, and that's how we hide. We're like in the middle of the field. So, yeah, basically, like literally it's just a pit. It's a hole in the ground with wood tops, and that's what we hide in most of the time. There's other ways to do it, but that's what we mostly do.
So I mean, just so you can educate us, like we're not hunters or anything, but why do you get in a pit? Like is it like that they won't see you, or like why is the?
It's just the best way to hide. I mean, they have like, certain blinds you can use above ground, but the best way to kill a goose is to try and be invisible. And so, digging a pit in the middle of a cornfield, and that's just the way we hide.
And still with decoys and everything up?
Yeah.
Like,
we'll put decoys right on the pit, and, some days we'll put out 60 dozen decoys.
Okay.
The pit is literally a pit. It's a dirt hole. Like, that's my office.
Damn.
There you go.
Yeah.
No, that's what's up.
Yeah.
So you said you're hunting it. Is it just like for like geese and stuff like that, or is it for all types of?
Pretty much anything in this area we can guide you on. I mean, deer, antelope, coyotes, ducks, and geese. But for some reason, everyone just wants to do the waterfowl thing right now. It's just super popular, and I don't know if it's because it is fun. And the thing is when you have a deer tag, you can shoot one deer a year if you're lucky. But with waterfowl, you get multiple opportunities and you can shoot multiple times, and it's a group thing. It's more of a camaraderie thing.
Yeah. So when I'm just thinking, because I've seen photos and stuff up. You guys have just rows of them lined up. Like how you can probably harvest them pretty fast, but like the whole process. Like, do you guys use like everything, like the feathers, to actually eat them and stuff? Like, so how's the? Because that's a lot of work. So my dad he has a big farm and stuff. And he has a lot of chickens. Like, if you do it, like, dude, it's a lot of work to like clean them up and have them all tidied up. So
everyone thinks about like their grandma's Christmas goose, right? Like the whole thing in the crock pot.
Yeah.
Most of the time, though, in reality, you're just breasting them out. And that's the thing, is you're not wasting really any meat if you breast them out. I mean, yeah, there's a little bit of meat on the legs you don't get, but for as many geese as you can get, most of the time people just breast them out. And then it comes out like a chicken breast, and then people do something with that.
Okay, cool.
So take us back to the beginning. Can you say you started when you were 19? That's like pretty much like recently graduated from high school.
Yeah.
Recently. So like just take us back, just like your full journey, kind of what you did after you came out of high school, and then how you got into it slowly.
Or even how you were in high school too.
Right.
Just give us a little quick rundown.
So high school, pretty much every snow day, we were out hunting, trying to. We were just young kids, like mobbing around with and that back then we didn't have like the nice equipment we do now. So we were just doing the best we could. We were laying in ditches, we were doing this, running around, trying to just hunting as much as we possibly could. And it just kind of took off from there. We just got better and better at it. And then, so I grew up on a farm. So summer times I was farming and then going to school, playing sports with you two, football, obviously.
Yeah.
Yep.
Everyone was always like, why don't you wrestle? Why don't you play basketball? Like, well, it's in the wintertime. I like to hunt. So that's kind of what I was doing in high school. And then, after high school, I was just farming with my dad. And then, my dad passed away when I was 19, right when I graduated high school. And then that next winter is when I met Luke. And, when you're kind of lacking like a male figure in your life, someone comes along that's doing what you want to do. And then we just hit it off and became really good friends. And he was just a huge influence in the hunting world. And I definitely think once I met Luke and like Ty and Drew and those guys and Stitch, like it just went from 0 to 100. It went from a weekend warrior, like hobby hunt, to like, you can make a living at this. Like, this is awesome. So
how much older are they than you? Because we were talking about it the other day. Like, maturity isn't necessarily like how old you are. Just because you're 30 years old doesn't mean you're mature. You can be fucking immature person, if you're 30 or 40,
Yeah, so I'm 26 now, and like so Drew is Ty's little brother, and he's the closest one to my age. He's 28.
Okay.
And then, but like all the other guys, like Stitch is almost 50, and then like Luke and Ty are, mid 30s. So I kind of hang out with like a little bit older crowd nowadays with just what we do, but it's not a bad thing.
Okay, no, that's cool. I was just curious on that.
So kind of what happened after that? Because you said you worked like in the oil fields for a little bit. You also tried going to school and stuff, and that didn't work out.
Right. So that fall that I met Luke, I was actually going to CSU. I was trying to go up there. I was going to get an ag science degree. Come back, maybe run some cows on the farm. Like, that was kind of my plan, right? And then I was kind of stuck in like a really like awkward, like hard place because I was trying to do everything at once. So I'd go to school, and like my dad had just passed away, and I was living with my mom, and I was going to school in Fort Collins, and then I was coming back trying to do harvest and help on the farm, and then finally I was just like, family comes first, so school's not for me, and I just started full-time farming again.
Were you driving back and forth every day, or
I was,
or just like for weekends?
A couple of times, yeah. I mean, like I'd come back every weekend to hunt anyway, but when there was things to do on the farm, like if I didn't have class on a Wednesday, I'd just come home and help out on the farm and stuff like that. So just couldn't do both. You know what I mean? Had to make a choice, I guess. And so, yeah.
Why did you feel like did you feel like you like needed to go to college, or was it kind of just like everybody else kind of doing this, like let me go try it out? Because I know really college isn't for everybody, like obviously.
Right. So my dad, he was like super big into going to school, like because he never went to school and no one else went to school, and so he really wanted me to go to school. So I tried it, and then I mean it just didn't work out. And then I was full time farming, and then I decided I didn't want to farm anymore, so we rented the farms out to a neighbor to farm for us. And we kept them, still own them, stuff like that. But then I don't know. I just kind of had like a falling out with farming. And so then I went to work in the oil field. And
how long did you go to like try going to school for?
I only made it a semester, man.
Semester?
Yeah.
Okay.
You're like, fuck, this is enough to know that it ain't. I mean,
there were some distractions.
Yeah.
There's some beer drinking and stuff going on, and just.
Oh, there's more than enough distractions before college.
Right.
Yeah, for sure.
But I just had this pull to come back and, guide and stuff and hunt and, just got young kid, just got distracted in certain things, so decided to come home and go back to the farming life, and then had a falling out with that, and then I went to the oil field for a while, and that was good for me. I was like a punk ass kid farming, didn't have anything to do in the winter time other than hunt, so running around, kind of being stupid, maybe getting a little trouble sometimes. In the oil field, that was good for me.
So what would you do in the oil field? Like,
I did wireline.
Okay.
So we dealt with explosives, and I traveled everywhere. I went to, anywhere from like North Dakota to Texas, throughout there, and just kind of bounced around. You know how it is with you were a welder, yeah.
Why do you say it was good for you? Was it good for you just because it kind of like made you kind of grow up a little bit, or was it good for you because it kind of made you travel and kind of get out of like just this little area that you knew everybody, and it made you kind of more of like aware of what's going on and stuff like that?
Yeah, it was both. I mean, grow up a little bit. Like I said, I was working for myself at 21 years old, 22 years old. Like, you just have a way too much free time on your hands when you're that age to get in trouble. And then, I mean, just getting out of Fort Morgan for a while was good for me. Met a lot of people, opened up my eyes to what's out there. I mean, I grew up in the same, 5 square miles my whole life. So good to get out.
That's one thing that I think like everybody should do, like at least some point in their lives. The younger the better, but just get out of their hometown and go fucking live somewhere else.
And it's okay to come back, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I think,
I mean, at least get out and see that there's more than just Morgan County,
Yeah, you tried it out, you went, and you're just like, okay, it wasn't there. Like me personally, I went, I lived here, sold all my shit, like literally all my shit. Like vehicles, furniture, house.
Doing pretty well off, too.
Yeah.
I mean, you're a rig welder, so you're probably making bank, man.
Yeah, I guess.
In some people's eyes.
It depends who you compare yourself to. But it's like, I go over there, and I tried it out, and I'm just like, yeah, And I got right before I got out of the city right before COVID, so it was good. Made me realize I'm never fucking going back to live in the city,
Yeah.
But I mean, we pretty much work in the city all the time, but just to like live in there, have my family, it's not for me. But you try, like you're saying, you tried it, you're experienced it, and then you're out.
Yeah. But especially because we're all from Fort Morgan, a small town. So like if all your whole life is a small town, you don't really get like any other perspective from like other people.
No, dude, you don't get the experiences you need to get and stuff. Like, I mean, like, come on, like, look at the Queens on the night before Thanksgiving. It's like a high school reunion. Yeah, it's just everyone, and most people stay. How all the bartenders at Queens are people we went to school with. I mean,
I'll take your word for it. I've been to Queens one time in my whole life.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I've actually never that's the whole thing. Like, I'm always, and that's why I like kind of the little analogy you said. Like, you started getting to the oil field, I think kind of developed you, I guess you could say, into like a man, because you got responsibilities. Like, if I don't wake up tomorrow, they're probably gonna fucking fire me if I don't show up to work or something. So he's like, makes you more responsible.
When you're working for yourself, you're like, oh, it's easy to put things off, right?
Shit, I'll get up like around 9 and go check it out or whatever.
It's too easy. Yeah, it's too easy to be like, I'll just do it tomorrow, But it was just like the accountability was there. And also, like, I met a lot of awesome people in the oil field. Like, some of my best friends I have now to this day are people from the oil field.
Yeah, no, it's great. Yeah. So how long was that? Like,
I was in for a year.
Okay.
I just did it for a year.
Okay, cool.
But and then I got out, and I actually started a trucking company with one of the guys like from the oil field I worked with. I literally went to a location one day, like we were all there working, and I was like, hey man, he's like, what's up? I'm like, you want to quit and start a business? He's like, yep. So we both just put our 2 weeks in and quit right there.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's good.
So it was just like right away, just kind of, yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, like on location. He was working nights, I was working days, and we were opposite shifts.
Yeah.
And he's like, yep, let's do it. We both called at the same time, put our 2 weeks in and quit.
Dude, that's cool.
We bought a couple semis. We bought some semis with the oil field money we had, and now we have 3 trucks running.
So you guys still have it going on then? Mm-hmm. Okay, that's cool.
So owning that business, though, it's like multiple income super important, right?
Yeah.
Because honestly, I'm not going to lie to you guys. Like being a hunting guide, you really don't make all that much money. I mean, you buy your own equipment. I have a trailer full of like $10,000 worth of decoys I had to buy. I scout every day, so you're burning fuel money, and like you make a decent amount of money, and you're almost like a waitress because you get paid a little bit and tips every day.
How much like do you get paid like on average like for?
So like all our
take someone
guides,
out?
like all our guides are $200 a day.
Okay.
But we charge $300 a gun, but the company pays the guide $200 a day, and then you get your tip. And
So,
sometimes you get nice people that tip well, sometimes you don't.
So I was going to ask you, the whole tip comes, like we have this big conversation. I literally had one with someone yesterday. So do you ask for the tip before you do the service or after the service?
After. You don't even ask for a tip.
Okay.
You don't even. It's just,
okay, cool. I'm just checking because the restaurants you do now, shit, they're like, do you want to tip us? Like,
They put that shit on your bill already.
they put that shit on my
no,
bill. I was
that shit
like,
ain't
well, the
included,
service is pretty shitty. It was like someone, you come out like, dude, well, I didn't catch no fucking ducks. I didn't get anything, bro.
Right,
like,
yeah.
I'm not going to give you $100 tip or whatever,
Well, and if we have a bad day out there in the field, or whatever, like I feel wrong even taking a tip because it's like I didn't do what you wanted me to do, man. Like
That's perfect. That's exactly how people should feel. Like in restaurants, like, I mean, that's kind of going to a different like industry, but I mean, I just think it's bullshit where they just come to you and they're like, here's your tip, or they're like, I'd probably give you like a $30 tip, but now because you charged me, now I ain't giving you shit.
Yeah, you're not like whatever.
Now I ain't giving you shit because, you're asking for it,
Well, you're not going to double tip someone.
Yeah, so I just think it's...
So what do you think about like everybody like now? Like I see this shit on social media all the time. It's like, oh, if you don't have enough money to tip, you shouldn't even be going out. Like they look at it as a tip as like mandatory now, not even as like an extra little fucking payment. They're like, no, you have to tip well because that's how we make our money. And it's like, if that's how you make your money, you should probably go find another fucking job that pays better.
So I get it. People got to make a living. People got to feed their family. But like, honestly, like you got to remember, like 90% of the time, if you just do a half-ass job, you're gonna get a tip.
That's the fucking problem. Like,
if you just do your job, people will tip you. I mean, but if someone, I don't know. I guess if they do a bad job, I'll still tip them. But I think that's just become common in like the society now.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't know. I have no idea why. I just think people like expect things that aren't reality all the time, and
Because I'll be honest, if I get shitty service, I ain't fucking leaving no tip.
No, you're savage like that. Oh,
Yeah.
Maybe I take notes from him, save a little more money sometimes.
A little bit. No, because then that it's just like they think they can just do whatever they want and then not actually like provide good service. And I'm like, nah, dude, a tip, you gotta fucking earn a tip. As long as you do your job, what you're supposed to do, you're gonna get one. But if you fucking don't, like,
what's the saying for the word tip? It's like
gratuity.
No, like the acronym, like to ensure something. What is that?
I do not know. I don't know.
The thing is like
something to ensure
prompt and timely
to ensure
service
prompt service. That's what tips is like the thing for. And like I get it, like and also,
dude. I mean, I completely get it, dude. My first job that I had when I was in high school, I was the fucking busser. I was the host, so I know the grind. And it's a bitch. Sometimes people come and they just have bad attitudes towards you. Like, and I worked in it. That's why I feel like I can kind of talk shit about it because like I worked in it. So you shouldn't just expect people. Yeah. Like if someone just comes and gives your order like not good or whatever. I mean, I don't think you should. I mean, I personally don't think you should. Like you should. Like people everything's given to them. Like we're saying. So it's like you gotta earn that shit.
Well, and here's the thing too. Like the waterfowl world in general is super competitive now. Yeah. I mean, you'll go to Stubbs on a weekend and you'll see 6 other goose hunters out there. You know what I mean? So if you don't do a good job and get the results that the client would want, then they're just you're never gonna see them again anyway. So it doesn't matter if they don't tip you at that point or not.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. So it's like a restaurant. Like, you want people to come back, so you got to perform the best, like you're saying.
Yeah.
I don't want to tip if I feel I didn't do a good job. Like, maybe I shouldn't get a tip. Like,
Well, and also like you got like 80% of clients are repeat clients.
yeah,
You know what I mean? So
They're
and same
coming
with
back.
your guys' business. It's the same. I mean, you can relate waterfowl or hunting in general, like in the outfit world or whatever. But most you guys have a media company now, right?
yeah.
Do you have repeat customers?
Yeah, so we have repeat. So that's what I'm saying. Like, and I completely tell them beforehand, like, if I'm not performing the results that you think we should be doing,
Right.
or something, dude, fire me. I
Yeah.
tell them straight up day one. Like, if you don't think this is good, like what we're giving you, like, dude, don't fucking hire me again. Like,
I mean,
like it sucks, but it's like you got to be real with it. I think.
people have like lost like the concept of like you're either the hero or the zero. Like everyone's so stuck in this gray world of like, oh, I can just do a half-ass job and get by. It's like if you're gonna do something, you better either don't do it or do it the best you can.
Yeah.
And that's how it is like in anything, any job, especially hunting though. I mean, people come out and they pay you, so but they don't realize like all the work that goes into it. They just want to jump in the pit. Hey, let me turn the heater on for you and do my thing and get you some geese. But especially in that world, you're either the hero or the zero. And like I said, you don't do a good job, or you even do like kind of like a half-ass job, they're not going to come back.
Do people ever bitch about the price?
Yeah, I mean they do, but at the same time, it's like you get what you pay for. There's outfits. Like I like to think we do a really good job at outfitting, and we're $300 a gun a day, so per person.
It's usually the people that bitch, the people like one of their first times going, or like
No, it's usually the like crotchety old man that like brings out his like old flute call and like, oh, back in my day I hunted geese all over. It's usually those guys.
but he still keeps showing up or no?
Yeah, but he's
Okay,
hiring
So
us to kill the geese.
So the script already. Like, all right, come on, let's go.
Yeah, it happens every time. Like you're in there and I mean, I don't want to say I'm a professional, but like I'm the guide. And
they call you the Goose Daddy. So
yeah, if I'm lucky. But and then you get the old guy that like whips out like a 1970s goose call, and like starts ripping on it. It's like, hey, and that's the hardest part. Is like, dude, don't do that. Like that doesn't sound good, man.
So like me, I don't know, but like, do they still work, or like the geese kind of evolve like humans as a language? It's changing. He's just like, I haven't heard that call in a while. I ain't going over there.
There's just always something better, right? So back in like, it's just like everything evolves, and the decoys back, like they used to like. I've seen pictures of old guys literally throw a bunch of half-cut tires out that are dark to look like geese. And then it's just like, I always think though too, it's like, what if no one made a better goose decoy? Would they still fall for the tires? Or would they want the newest and best now?
So, I mean, if they don't know, maybe, dude.
You right what I'm saying? Like
they don't
if they
know
would have
better,
never
they don't know
seen that
better.
kind of decoy, then what's going on? But like, yeah, like, I don't know, just, it's like anything, new technology and
It's a good one, dude. You got me
Because
thinking on that one.
the reason I asked that question is because you just said you have like $10,000 worth of stuff in your trailer, and then you're out every day like scouting and stuff. Like people don't see what goes on behind the scenes. So to make sure you're prepared for them when they come out on a trip with you.
I mean, they just don't get it. Like they think that we just like I get like bitched out or whatever. Like, when are the geese gonna fly? Like when are they just like, dude, like they're not in a cage, man. Like they're wild animals. Like I don't know when they're gonna come out.
Let me go tell.
You know what I mean?
Let me just make a phone call so I can release them real quick.
Release pen number 2, please. We're ready for them. Like no, it's not like that,
That's
but
funny.
I don't know. It's just it's always the old crotchety guys though. That
What's one of the craziest things I guess you've seen like when you're out hunting, or like the weirdest thing?
I mean,
probably
dude, I've
some-
seen everything under the sun. Like some of the clients you get are just characters, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, like one time I've seen guns go off in the pit.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh,
like
shit.
stuff like that, crazy stuff. Like just like 2 days ago, there was a goose in the decoy spread, and we had some clients out, and some of them were female, which that's cool, man. Like getting hunting, great. And there was a goose on the ground, and I'm like, all right, get out, get out of the pit. Go shoot this bird in the decoys or whatever. And she's like, well, I don't want to shoot your decoys. I'm like, oh, it's fine if you pepper them, And I don't know. She was wearing glasses, bro. So I don't know if she was blind or what. But she literally just went down and like center punched one of my decoys, like blew it in the air. I'm like,
Oh,
no, the
shit.
goose is back there. Like, what are you doing?
Did
you
she
know?
still make the kill, or did he fly away?
No, then it flew, and then she missed it, and then like one of the other guys shot it, and then my decoy's just blown in half on the ground. I'm like, oh, there's $50.
Fuck.
So say like I want to go like on a I want to hire you for like for a guy. Like, what do I need to do, or what should I expect? Like,
I mean, honestly, like you just got to get a hold of us, and then we usually put a deposit down to hold the spot because you don't want to like guarantee a
Wait
spot.
there all
and
morning,
then-
they don't show up.
Yeah, and just Venmo me your deposit or whatever, then pay the balance at the gas station, grab your burrito, and let's roll. Go out, jump in the pit, and we do everything. Like, also, like it kind of sucks. Like it's getting to the point where like all these outfits are trying to like one up the competition. Like, oh, well, you don't even have to worry about setting up decoys. Like, we'll have it all set up for you and stuff like that. And like, I don't really believe in that because don't you want the full experience to see at least a glimpse of what we have to do to kill these birds or harvest these birds and stuff? So I don't know, but yeah, like crazy stuff I've seen. Like, yeah, I mean, guns going off in the pit. There's been some like really interesting characters I've had. Like one time I was in the pit.
Sure.
I was in the pit with these guys, and like I was like, man, my
So how
phone's...
big? I mean, I guess how big is this pit that you make?
So we had 8-man pits.
Okay.
So it's basically like a long rectangle. There's
Okay.
8 holes for people to shoot.
Okay.
So I'm in the pit one day, and this guy's like, he's a bigger fella, which whatever, yeah, I
Yeah.
get it. And I was like, man, my phone's gonna die. And he's like, well, lucky for you. I'm like, what? He's like, I got a big ass fucking battery in my pocket. And this dude pulls out like a battery this freaking big with a charger, and he lets me use it. Like just stuff like that. I mean, just random,
Just
things
random
like that.
shit.
Yeah.
Dude,
so
that's funny.
how long are you guys out there for? Because I think that you guys start pretty early, don't you?
Yeah. I mean,
Why is that? Is that also just part of the?
yeah.
like-
Usually like if you're talking waterfowl or any kind of wildlife, they usually move in the morning. Then they kind of hang out for the day. Then like waterfowl will come back out at the evening and they'll feed before they go back to the roost. So we're in those fields because they're going there to feed. So they're on the water, on the roost at night, sleeping or
Okay.
whatever, and then they come out to get breakfast or their food or whatever. And so then we're there trying to trick them, trying to get them to come in.
Trying to snatch them up.
So
Yeah.
just like for a few hours, or because you said like that.
Yeah, so-
that's like for like an all day, but what's like considered all day?
So the best case scenario is when you shoot your limit. So you can only each person can shoot 5 geese a day in Colorado. So it's 5 Canada geese, the dark ones. But
What about like the other ones? The
Snow
water-
geese?
Yeah, or like water, because there's like
yeah, so
There's
you
a
can
lot of them.
shoot. Yeah,
what's the limit for each one?
So for Canada geese, it's 5, and right now, snow geese you can shoot 50 a day, because there's just a huge problem with they're way overpopulated, So they try and give you a higher limit so you can kind of thin them out, which, that's just.
Okay.
And then ducks you can shoot 6. There's a bunch of stipulations between like how many, like you can shoot 6 ducks, but only 5 can be this or whatever, but. Like 5 can be this species, 2 can be this species, or whatever. But yeah, I don't know. We don't really hunt ducks all that often anymore.
No.
Most
So
of these.
I guess that's the good thing about getting the guy to go out there with you, so people know if they're actually shooting a Canada geese or just the snow geese or whatever else.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if like some people like would be able to really tell the difference between all of them, or if they
Someone that's never gone,
someone
like-
that's never gone,
Right,
could be-
yeah.
Think about it.
Well, like I've seen like people like pull out of it. They see a hawk. Like, oh, here comes one. I'm like, do not shoot that one. Like that's a hawk. Like you'll go to jail if you shoot that. But no, it's just you see everything, man.
So what about? I mean, you guys do more like I guess you said goose and stuff, but it's like you're saying you have to get the whole experience. So it's like, what do you have like people that say they hunt deer, but they go to like ranches where they're like, there's 10 deer out there,
Yeah,
Do you
so-
think do you think that like that's fair? Or you think they're not like really getting the experience because they know there's one out there when you're really
You're
going?
talking like a high fence ranch or something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, to each their own, man. If you're want to pay the money and just shoot a trophy deer,
Yeah, that's
Then
exactly.
so
That's
be
like
it.
Yes, like
Go
trophy.
ahead, right?
Because you're probably gonna get something
Yeah.
there because it's fenced.
yeah, you're gonna get something. You pay enough money, you can get anything. And then, but like out here, we hunt deer. There's no fences. It's all wild. I don't really believe in the high fence deal. It's just not my thing. I don't think that's really hunting. But people have their own idea of what they want to do, So
So it's like a really like just simulated hunt and just
Yeah,
Pretty much
it's like, hey, let's drive around in this pickup, and he's in here somewhere. Just gotta know where.
Fucking corner Bambi, we're gonna get him.
Old Leroy and the boys in their F-150 go look around in there, and he's in here somewhere. And
because just driving around in the pickup is a lot different than we actually have to go like hike in the mountains and actually go look for something.
Yeah,
because then you actually need to be semi-fit to actually be able to go hike in the mountains.
Elk hunting is brutal,
and then
man.
bring it back.
You might probably go, and you probably might not grab anything, no?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure.
So-
I mean, me and my buddies do over-the-counter archery elk hunting in the mountains.
Okay.
And there's times you put on 12 miles a day, hiking up and down, and you don't even hear an elk or see
Really?
one. Yeah, so that's pretty. And then here's the thing, though, is you go 8 miles from your pickup, hiking around for an elk, and then you shoot one.
You got 8 miles
And then
back
you're like,
to your
oh,
truck.
shit, we just shot this 500-pound freaking animal,
So what do you do?
quarter it out.
Okay.
So we
Just
you
carry
know,
it?
Yeah, so
Everybody has a leg.
yeah, it's literally like we'll skin it and quarter it, and then put it in your pack and start the death march.
You don't carry it on your back like Cameron Haynes?
Dude, that
You know
guy,
Cam-
that
you know
guy's
Cameron, right?
Oh yeah, that guy's an animal, man.
He's a fucking beast.
But it's
He just gets down on the ground, rolls around
I'm not
with the
gonna
deer,
lie,
and
I-
then just stands up like.
my buddy
Fucking
shot
impressive.
a deer last year out here, maybe it was 2 years ago now. I tried to do that with a mule deer out here. No way, dude.
No.
I don't know how he does that.
Yeah, dude, those
Get the
things are-
Ranger. Let's load this thing up and get out of here. But I don't know.
So do you have to be, I don't know, like semi like in shape to be able to go do that shit, or just know kind of what you're doing so you don't waste a ton of energy?
To go elk hunting,
Yeah.
you're gonna be in shape. You got to be in shape. Like you don't have to be, but if you're not, you're gonna be hating your life.
Like you just said, you walk 12 miles. Like,
Yeah.
if you're not
Because
really
it
used
could
to
be a couple
walking,
days too, right?
Oh, we sleep off our back. So we'll pretty much everything we'll put everything in our pack, and we'll head in, and then that's what you got for the 3 days you're gonna be away from your truck.
Yeah.
Damn,
Yeah.
that's
Dude,
fucking
that's-
sense.
so I mean, on some of that, what impact do you think that the gray wolves have had? Have you really seen that it's changed much?
No, not in Colorado. No, I don't think there's rumors and speculations of wolves in Colorado, right? Like I guess they dropped them in or something like that.
Yeah, some
They
supposedly.
reintroduced them.
Right. Yeah. Which is
they put it to a
terrible. Which is a terrible idea. I don't know why they did that.
Why is it terrible?
Well, because they just devastate. It's not like a coyote. I mean, this thing's a full-grown wolf, and they devastate elk and deer. You go to Idaho. So you ever heard like an elk? They bugle.
Yeah.
Right. In Idaho, they don't bugle anymore because
Because they're scared of the
as soon as one bugles off, that's the dinner bell, and here comes all the wolves. They're gonna find him.
Really?
Yeah, it's. I think it's a terrible idea. Like I'm not a wildlife biologist by any means, but I just think that is the worst thing. Also, too, why are you trying to change nature?
Yeah.
Like, if they're not here naturally, then just leave them alone.
Because they were here.
Well,
but,
we're here, I guess.
But
yeah.
but there's a reason they're not here anymore.
Yeah, which I mean,
Dude,
the
they're
same people that voted to get them back in are the reason why they're not here anymore.
Yeah, because I think that was more focused. Like more city people were like, oh yeah, bring them back in. And
Well, and let's look at it this way too. So, not even on the hunting side, like all those ranchers up there, they devastate their livestock. It's like,
Oh,
okay,
yeah.
so let me put a gray wolf in your backyard with your dog, and see what happens. It's the same thing they didn't think about that when we're gonna put a gray wolf back in Colorado next to your ranch with your sheep or your cows. Like, that's how people make a living, and you're gonna
They just see the fucking.
like, what are you doing?
They just see those nice ass fucking frames you see that have like a nice wolf running through the snow. Like,
Yeah.
they're so beautiful. We should have them
Oh.
back. Like, they don't know if you go like, I don't know if you've seen a couple years ago. It was that mountain lion, that guy that was out hunting.
Oh,
that,
yeah,
that he
yeah,
like
yeah.
strangled it.
Where he was hiking, yeah.
Yeah, but it's like, dude, wolves, they think they're like, it's not like a little puppy, like a beautiful, like
No.
husky looking thing. Like, dude, they're in packs.
That's what I'm saying. There's more than
So
one.
it's like,
it's not
dude,
just one. It's like fucking.
Oh,
at least
it's
10
all
of
of
them or
them,
some
man.
shit.
It's crazy.
So I guess if you're out hunting, like is there a law on something? Like, if there's a pack and they're trying to go, like, if you just
Start
shoot them
blasting
down,
them.
you start blasting them.
I mean, you can't just
like, if
shoot 'em.
If it's you and your buddy that you're out there and you just have a pack of wolves come, like, kind of surrounding you, like, you're not going to be like,
there's a self-defense law. I mean, if you go out there and just shoot a wolf, then you're gonna get in trouble. But like if it's trying to attack you, sure, yeah, self-defense.
okay. And what's the law on like if you're out hunting, because you got your rifle, but it's like handguns and stuff? Like, what's that? Because I know there's two that you can't be walking with one in your chamber, supposedly, right? Isn't
No,
in
you
your
can,
rifle?
you can,
In your rifle, you could?
Yeah, like so we hunt with bows, like
Oh, I get.
as
Yeah,
far.
your bow. Okay.
But I keep a pistol on me when I'm bow hunting because
For the
I mean,
wolves?
not out here. I mean,
Yeah.
obviously not out here, but like up in the mountains, I do. Yeah, just for mountain lions or
Just anything out there.
Yeah,
Okay.
bears, or wolves. But like I said, I don't know. They say they're here, but I don't know.
It's just another like extra thing to look out for when you're out there.
Yeah, probably.
So what got you like into the whole like hunting thing? Because you said you've been doing this like since you were 19. But like what got you into it? Was like your dad that kind of got you into it, or?
No, so my dad didn't hunt growing up. What got me into it was my dad owned a bunch of cornfields, and these two old guys would put a pit in one of our cornfields. And then one time I was 12 years old enough to hunt, and they just took me, and it just kind of grew from there. I don't know. I grew up like out on the farm and stuff, so naturally, like I was just intrigued by it. But
So yeah, it's different. I think different like upbringings than like people. I think now,
Yeah.
like now, I don't think it's there's much of that. But so like we said earlier, we didn't really get into it too much. But like, what does somebody need to go hunting, like legal wise,
like to go on their own, or
just anything? Because you need a license to go, and then you need a tag. And
you got to have your hunter safety. You got to have a license. I mean, you got to have the right firearm to harvest what you're going to harvest. There's rules on that for caliber and stuff for certain things. But yeah, basically in Colorado, I mean, Colorado's a great state to do it because there's a lot of public land in Colorado. So, we own all these farms or we have these leases on properties and stuff, and Colorado gives people a chance to at least go. But yeah, basically hunter safety, license, the right clothing, and the right firearm.
So you do like the hunting and stuff, but what made you actually transition to do it to like a guide, like to a business, like where you can actually, where you actually thought you're like, hey, I'm decent at this, let me
That's
let me
exactly
get
what
some.
it was, yeah. So me and my buddies grew up hunting, and like I just got to a point where I'm like, man, we're pretty good at this. We're pretty good at this. What we love to do.
Did you have people like telling you like, hey, dude, let's go hunt, and people just go out and you're just like, dude, I can just charge for this.
Right. Yeah. People hit me up family, friends, or whatever. Like, hey, like, you know how to shoot or how to hunt this or whatever. Like, can you take me? Started doing that, and then like I said, like back to the whole thing when I first met Luke in a cornfield, that just escalated it to, and like so the first year I hunted with those, like with the Davies boys and Stitch and Luke, I didn't get paid. It was like almost like an internship.
Okay.
Like so I went with Luke like almost every day, just learning how to deal with clients and how to do things, because hunting with your buddies and hunting with clients are two totally different things.
What's the biggest?
They just,
thing you think?
I mean, some clients know what they're doing a little bit, but most time they just don't know anything.
Yeah.
So you kind of have to like start from square one and be like, okay, this is first step, second step, and kind of go from there.
Right, and you have to and also like as a guide, like you do everything. You put the decoys how you want to. You have to watch the wind. You call. You use a flag, which is like a motion thing for geese, and call the shots. And like you might be working your ass off trying to get these birds in there, and then you realize you look down. Like when you're with your buddies, everyone's like helping. Yeah. And then you look down the pit, and they're all just sitting there drinking their hot chocolate, like waiting for something to happen,
Waiting for you to tell them, like, hey, it's ready, let's
go ahead and shoot them, yeah. So then you realize you're on your own, and it's just a lot different.
It's different,
yeah.
Okay.
So you said you started out with like guiding for another company. Now you're trying to like do your own thing. What kind of made you kind of want to kind of like even start thinking about having your own?
Honestly, just because like I feel like we have a really good group of guys that we all do it together, and I was kind of like part owner of an outfit for a little bit, and then like I was telling you guys earlier, like one of the people that was involved kind of got a little weird, so now I'm just guiding under Premier Outdoor. But yeah, I think we're pretty good at what we do, and also just being out here instead of like, so Premier's a lot in the Front Range and stuff, and just being out here, we could definitely do our own thing, but I mean, it's kind of hard though too, because like Danny with Premier, He's a great friend of mine, and like, I don't want to like necessarily leave him, you know, but you got to do what you got to do though.
Yeah.
But like I was telling you too, I have a trucking company, so having that dual income allows me to, you know, just not get by, but like allows me to not
You buy yourself some time to be able to
do
it.
hunting and stuff.
So it's like people might be like, dude, like this guy's just hanging out hunting every day. Must be fucking nice.
That's what
But it's just
I hear that all the time, dude.
Must be fucking nice. But it's like, dude, I bought myself this window so you can create yourself into a business because you got like, while people are out there blowing their money on this, on other stuff, you were like, let me save up so I can buy some trucks, do this, have that generate some income so I can do my so I can start ramping my other business up.
Doing what you love, yeah. I mean, like I said, you can't, if you own the outfit and you're the sole owner, you can probably make a living just doing that. But when it comes to being a guide, you're not gonna pay the bills just guiding unless you live a really, really basic lifestyle or whatever. And like, especially in Colorado. I mean, Colorado's expensive, you know.
Yeah. And so like you as your outfit, like what are your plans? Like, where do you expect to take it to like offer different, because right now it's more geese. Do you want to start offering other stuff, or like what's your route, you guys?
I don't really want to change what we hunt or how we do things. Obviously, everyone wants to run more trips, but my main goal is to build a lodge. I think would be badass. So, I mean, have a lodge and like somewhere get the full experience. You know, you come back from hunting. Here's a cooked meal. Here's a bar. Here's your room.
The whole thing.
You know, because right now people are either just day tripping from Denver or they're staying in a hotel in Morgan. You know,
you can pretty much come here. It's like you said, it's the full experience of the actual hunt.
Well, and then here's the thing too. Like, build a lodge, and then in the summertime, like you'd run like wedding venues out of it.
Yeah,
use it for that stuff like that. That's like the ultimate goal for me eventually. But
okay,
yeah, cause that's what one thing I was gonna ask you is because it's like hunting's really just more seasonal, right? So
yeah.
Like, what do you do like in the off season?
Right.
Because you said like there's also like fishing and stuff, but I don't know if that's something you guys are.
We don't do that. Like we don't guide fishing trips. Like I mean, honestly, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Like I'm not a huge fisherman. I mean, I'll do it a few times here with my buddies, but I'm just not hardcore about it. I don't know if it's just because.
I mean, I'm not being a smart ass about it, but how do you guide a fucking fishing?
How do you get a fishing trip?
Like, how do you guide like the other one you do the calls, but for like a fish, like
basically, I can't speak on it because I'm not a fishing guide, but like what I've pretty much got the vibe from is you're a professional untangler of lines, like, and a professional knot tire for these people. So you rig their poles up and tell them where to throw it and basically take them to the right spot. But like I said, I have no idea what goes into it.
Sure, if you're a guide fisher, don't fucking get butt hurt. I just don't know.
Yeah, well, I don't know either.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm just thinking, I'm just like,
either, so.
You're out here doing the calls, so in there you swimming with the fish, corralling them up. So
yeah, no, I don't think
it's goggles.
It's mostly go down a scuba tank, get them. No, it's mostly. I would assume it's probably just what lure to use, knowing the lake, where to go, stuff like that.
Okay.
Because I could take you fishing in the ditch over there with water in it, but there probably ain't no fish there.
Probably ain't shit there, huh?
So
that's true.
Another question I have for you is that how have like the gun law stuff been like affecting what you guys do? Because people think you have a firearm, you're a fucking criminal now. That's the thoughts for a lot of people. I'm just So that how has that affected kind of like what you do? Has it affected it at all? Like
no
positive, negative way?
No, because we're not. Like the main thing with like the gun laws is focusing on assault rifles and stuff like that. I don't like, we're using shotguns and rifles, so I don't like bolt action rifles.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's going to affect us that much because the fact that it's not the gun they're trying to get rid of, and it definitely hasn't slowed anything down. I mean,
yeah,
but
you're doing it in a professional manner too. Like,
you
guys, because you were telling us earlier, like it's a process. You have to have licenses for so many things.
Yeah, you gotta have
like
have insurance and CPR and your first aid card to be a guide, and then like I said, it's just time at this point. I mean, you got to submit your application to the state. They got to kind of look into what you're doing, and then I mean, you're gonna get you can get a guide. Anyone can get a guide license. It just takes time.
Yeah.
Just the one thing with like the gun laws and stuff. If they do get stricter and like they do start banning like guns, what are your thoughts of like that escalating to like, okay, they banned this one gun, what stops them from banning the next one and the next one? and then just making them all fucking like illegal.
Yeah, I don't fucking know, man. Like if they get to the point where they're gonna ban hunting shotguns, then I guess we're gonna try and shoot geese with Nerf guns. I don't know.
Hopefully, get a net, try to
net them. Yeah, I don't know. That's a good question. I don't think it'll get to that point, but if it does, then I won't be living here anymore.
So that's like one of the biggest differences, like people living in the city and then people living like out in like just like the plains and like rural Colorado. Like,
they just, I mean, honestly, man, like people just have a misunderstanding of why we hunt. Like people that, people think that we're just out there trying to kill things. It's not what it is.
For sport or something.
Yeah, it's not what it is. Like you want to feed your family and you want to do this or you want to feed yourself. And the main thing too is like all those pretty trails and those national parks that these people hike on and stuff, the hunters pay for that. Because when you buy a license, a certain amount of that money goes to the state to keep these national forests and everything up and going. So the person that doesn't want us to have guns and, kill things or hunt things or whatever you want to call it, then I guess they can fork over the money to take care of their national forests and their parks and their public access areas and stuff like that. So we just get a bad rap, and that's just not what it is.
And I'm sure it's also a different feeling, like actually going out there, killing something, bringing it back home, and like eating it, just like going through the whole process yourself instead of just going to the store and buying.
Right, like meat. I said, like I could take anyone to the store and I could point out a package of meat and be like, "Do you know where that came from?" And they would never be able to tell you.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, like me personally, like my dad, he has a ranch and stuff. So all the meat that I eat is from ranch. I don't buy.
You don't buy store bought.
Yeah.
That's how we are. That's how I grew up on the farm too. Having cows and stuff.
Yeah, so it's like he has chickens. He has goats.
Cows.
He has lamb. He has cows. So it's like
pretty self-sufficient. I respect that. Homesteading's badass, man.
So that, and like I literally have a freezer over there, and it's packed with stuff, So it's like we have ground beef, like everything out of it. But the whole thing, like with that, it was like I think you can tell a lot about like a person when you say a lot of people like they're out there killing deer, killing all this. When you can tell the difference from like the language of a hunter, they'll be like, I harvested, like right. So they don't think like I'm just out there with just a rifle, just assassinating,
we're not there just slaying.
Not playing
stuff,
Rambo out there,
It's all for a reason,
Yeah. They say it different, like hunters, people that actually do it, and like respect for it, like they say like harvest, they don't say just like kill. Like I'm out there killing deer.
Harvest, yeah. I mean, like, well, here's the thing too, is like you can go out and harvest or shoot an elk. That feeds your family for the winter time.
Yeah.
I mean, what's the difference between harvesting and something in the wild versus having it go through like a processed plant to be killed and packaged? There's not. I mean, people just.
There's a big difference. All the things that they ate, all the shitty stuff that they eat, like that'd be a whole different topic. But if you actually see what the cows like eat, that are like feedlots and stuff, like they actually feed them fat to get them fat. Yeah. So it's like we don't want to go down that road because you'll stop going to McDonald's and shit. But
I thought McDonald's sponsored you guys.
Sponsored by McDonald's.
and that's one of the big things that why the Liver King, one of the reasons the Liver King's so famous is because he preaches like the ancestral living.
He is.
Did you see what just happened with him though?
Yeah, I did.
I mean, we all knew that.
What do you think?
Did you buy into it though?
No.
Dude, I don't think any fucking buddy.
No one didn't think he was running all that stuff and.
Well, the thing is, he does like live the ancestral way. Just the only thing that's different is that he's taking steroids. so you're not like you're not gonna eat what he eats and fucking look like he looks.
No way. Dude.
But everything else he was like saying and teaching, that stuff's all true. It's just the steroid part that's just.
You're not just gonna get super jacked and get all these veins and grow a big beard and a long mane.
Let's look at this though. It's like he's doing it for the money. I mean, that's how he makes his money.
It's a personality.
Viewing. Like he wants a viewing and stuff like that. So I get it, man. You got to do what you got to do what you want. But
the thing is, though, he had his businesses built before he fucking started, like, the social media thing.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he had a...
Yeah, he was already...
What's his background? Like, what is his business? Like, what's his background?
They do supplements.
Oh.
For that stuff, and then he started doing this. Like, he started the Liver King persona to, like raise awareness to, like, the ancestral living.
Yeah.
Because, like, that's... Like his kids and stuff were suffering from like all kinds of diseases and stuff.
Oh, okay.
And then
so it was for a good cause.
Yeah, it's just he could have promoted it a lot better. I feel if he would have started with sharing his story from like how he helped his kids and stuff like that, would have been stronger than fucking eat this and look like me.
Being like, eat this raw testicle and you'll get yoked. Like, come on, man.
Yeah. And even like his wife had like a bunch of like orthodontists, right?
They had
like,
their own like dental practice.
So
they had like everything.
So they kind of had a back.
So they had like they were already making millions. Like they were making some money already. Mm-hmm. But I mean, he just literally just amped it up. You know, looking like we're going shirtless everywhere and stuff. But
I think we all knew though. We all knew he wasn't like.
If you didn't know, then there's something wrong with you. But just looking at the guy, it's like, there's no way.
No.
He's fucking natty.
It's interesting though, huh? It was a good.
So what else you guys want to cover?
Well, what's one more thing that you'd want to kind of like share with the audience, or kind of like want them to know about what you do, and why is it important?
So I guess if I want to share anything, just for people out there, like, do what you want. Like, don't waste your time trying to get better at a job that you don't want to do, or whatever your career is. Like, do what you want. I don't care if you want to be a hunting guide, or if you want to do media, or you want to do this. Like, just make sure you don't waste your time chasing something that's not going to give you the result you want in your life. I mean, people might look at me bad because I'm a hunting guide and we kill things. So that's what I love to do, though. Like, I'm not going to judge you for doing hot yoga. I mean, that's not my thing, but if that's what you want to do, that's cool, or whatever you want to do, man. But yeah, just don't waste your time. Like, and also, whatever you pick to do, then do your absolute fucking best at it. Yeah. Like, put all your effort into it and just try and be the best possible, like be the best whatever you want to be possible. Like, my goal is to be the best hunting guide in the world, which will never happen. But if you just put your story, effort into it, man, like, just don't fuck around. Don't half-ass it. Yeah. That's all I'm saying. So
no, that's great. I like it because, like, you're saying, like, I don't know if I ever will, but if you tell yourself that, like, you're gonna be one step closer to actually being that.
Right. Yeah.
So it's kind of like a mind fuck, but it's like it's for real.
Yeah.
So that's, I do that. I do that too. So that's why.
Just do what you want. I mean, and don't be afraid to take a chance. That's another thing too.
Stop trying to please people that don't really care.
Yeah.
About you pleasing them.
Exactly. It's like, I just don't waste your time.
So what could people find you, or find you and then book you, or learn more about you?
So a lot of my bookings are on Instagram. My Instagram is just Austin.Kosman, and you can just hit me up on Instagram, and then we can go from there and get your hunt set up or whatever.
Sweet. So cool. Yeah, we'll put that down in the description so people can look you up, find you. But man, appreciate you coming out.
I do too. Honestly, good to see you guys again. It's been a good one.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, for sure.
Appreciate it.
Thank you for coming out again. And guys, if you guys like the episode, give it a thumbs up. You know, if you guys like the guests, if you guys want us to bring more guests, keep liking the episode. Hit subscribe. Turn on the bell, or hit the bell to turn on the notifications to be notified every time we upload a new video. But with that being said, guys, I'll leave you guys with our ending quote here on the podcast, that an act of rebellion is the question.
Appreciate it, guys. Thanks. Cool, dude. Appreciate it.
Thanks.
Sick. Hell yeah.
That was a good one.
Underrated, we the underdogs, underestimated.